AnswerThis just recently updated and it has so many different UI features and product features which have been added as well. And as you can see here, the homepage has changed. And of course, from here, you can ask any research prompt from asking it to make a full PowerPoint to other research documents such as literature reviews, case reports, thesis statements, to research gaps, methodologies, summaries, and everything in between. And after you have a prompt in here, you can go to the left-hand side to get a more specific feature. For example, you can use find papers to just put in a keyword or a prompt for the type of paper that you need, and you can filter it as well. But we'll go into that in just a little bit. We can also choose the literature review mode for those more comprehensive drafts, such as literature reviews, case reports, thesis statements, etc. Additionally, you can use data analysis in order to create charts, diagrams, and of course, analyze any data, whether it be from a document that you upload or through a document that we find through the filters. Additionally, we have research gaps, which is somewhat self-explanatory. For any research fields, you can go ahead and ask for the gap that you want to find, and you'll get an array of gaps that are backed by citations. Additionally, we can upload documents for paper or extract data, but you can skip ahead if you want to see what these features are and where you'll be able to find them within the tool as well. And we also have the paraphraser and AI writer tools, which are used for the notebook, and you can create a blank document directly through the AI writer feature here. But we'll also see what this looks like later on. But for now, let's start with the literature review tool. And from here, I'm just going to throw in a generic prompt. And once you have maybe a specific prompt or a broad prompt, you can then select which database you would like to choose. You can pick between papers, internet, your own library where you may save and upload papers or sources for a prompt such as this, or we can go ahead and upload any document directly here. But more importantly, you want to select the filter option, and from here we can select the amount of sections that our literature review will have. We can even tell which topics we would like it to cover. And regardless of which AI model we have chosen, we'll be able to adjust the minimum amount of citations each source will have. So if we set this to 5, every source that AnswerThis brings out will have at least 5 citations. Additionally, we can set the journal quality to Q1 to only get the highest quality journals, or we can put it to the right to include more. Next, we get to pick which publication types we would like to choose. We can select anything from journal articles to books and chapters, and then we get to select which databases these papers come from. So if you're asking a clinical question or you're a medical researcher, you might just want to select PubMed, but of course you can select all 4 as well. Additionally, we can select web searches and filter by just government or just EDU sites, as well as all websites. And I've recently been using this to find conferences that are upcoming in my area, as well as so many other broad subjects that research papers might not be able to give you the best information about. So I highly recommend you use this underestimated database. But moving on, my favorite thing about all of these databases is that they are updated daily. So we can set the start date to be something like 2020 and beyond to only find the most recent papers, or we can set the end date to be something like 1980 and before to find older and more fundamental papers. And if you're familiar with AnswerThis, you can scroll on down to find any of your recent queries or notebooks that you've worked on here, or you can go to the recent section and find your recent queries from here as well. And from here, you'll have your result on the left hand side and this paper table on the right. I like to click this button in the top right of my result to full screen it, but of course you can adjust it to whatever way you like. And as we scroll on through here, we can see the different diagrams and graphs that AnswerThis has made for us, as well as these tables. And what you'll notice about these tables as well is that we have references for each row, so we can verify and validate the information that's been put into here so we can actually trust this data. And as we scroll on down, we get practically line by line citations. And at the very bottom, we have the ability to change the citation style into 2000 plus different formats. Additionally, as we scroll through to the bottom of this reference list, we can go ahead, export this into PDF docx, LaTeX, and Markdown files, as well as share this to our peers or mentors if we find an interesting part of the literature or a useful citation that we'd like to share. Additionally, as we scroll up here, we can click on any of these citations, be brought right down to the source that was referenced in that paper. And from here, we have source information on the left-hand side, including paper title, when it was published, number of citations, as well as the DOI at the very bottom here. And as we scroll through these papers, if we find some that we like, we can simply click Save To and save them to our library to use for later. Or we can go ahead and click on multiple, and at the very top, we can go ahead and click Save To. And if you're new to answer this, you can create a new project to create a new library. You can give it a name, a description, and then you can say Create Project and save these papers to your new library. Additionally, we have abstract in the middle and the ability to add extra columns on the right. And this is actually the same as the extract data tool that we had seen in the beginning. And from here, we can insert a prompt for the type of data that we would like to extract. Or we can go ahead and select any of these pre-made options, such as relevant extracts, research gaps, methodologies. And if we click on research gaps here, we can see that we got multiple for each one of these papers. We can actually go ahead, scroll to the top, select all of these papers, and then export as a CSV in order to keep these columns. But we can also keep all of this information to a BibTeX or a Word file, as well as to our Zotero and Mendeley libraries. Additionally, as we have all these sources selected, we can also go to the Add Steps option and click on Bibliometric Analysis. This will bring us to a screen that looks like this, with publications and citations by year, as well as citation impact, so all great ways to find where key papers may lay in your research space. And we also have top terms and offers used to get a more holistic view of our research space. Scrolling back to the paper table that we had, if we find a paper that we really like here, we can go ahead and copy the DOI, go to Add Steps, click on Citation Map, and then insert the paper title or DOI and click Search. And from here, we can see how all the different papers connect with each other via these arrows. We can also click on any of these papers to just isolate this and highlight all the arrows so we can more clearly see how these papers connect. And as we scroll on down, we can also get another paper table where we may save any papers that are relevant to us. We can also export, as well as click on the metrics button to sort these by most cited, most connected, and top contributing authors. Scrolling back up to our original answer, if we want to find more papers and extract more information from what we already have here, we can go ahead and ask a follow-up question. Sometimes I like to present my entire literature review inside of a presentation, or get all of this information and create a research proposal or outline from this, and asking a follow-up question is a great way to get pretty much any extra information or any extra document that you want. If we haven't already found the exact papers that we need, whether it be through our original answer, asking a follow-up question, or using citation maps, we can also go to Add Steps and click on Search New Papers. And from here, we can insert a keyword or a prompt, and we can also click on this button to filter just like we could with the literature review from earlier. And once we submit search, we will be given another paper table that looks just like this, so we can find the exact papers that we need. Finally, you may notice that some of these papers have PDF available. We can select one or more of these papers, and this will be also the same tool that we had seen earlier, which is Chat with Papers. So we'll also be able to upload our own papers and use this as well. And after we click Chat with Papers, we'll be brought down to this screen with our paper on the left and this chat menu on the right. From here, we can go ahead and ask anything from specific information inside of the paper to research gaps, methodologies, summaries, as well as a full literature review in case we have multiple papers in here. But as you can see, I made a summary of the methodologies used in this specific paper, and I've talked to many scientists who've used this tool, and they love the quantitative analysis ability of this tool. And as you can see here, I asked it to extract some quantitative data, and it got out every single point spot on. In fact, if I go to page 42 here, we will see that this table of data is exactly the same quantitative data that was pulled out here. And you can tell AnswerThis to pull out all the data on a certain topic and put it in a table or another format, and it will do so perfectly as well. So I highly recommend that you give this tool a go. You can also select on any of this information, and you'll notice this add to notebook option. Additionally, if we scroll up to our original answer and select on a piece of information, we'll also get this add to notebook option. And at the top, we can insert our entire answer into our notebook by pressing Edit with AI Writer or the notebook here. And once we've added it in, we will then be brought to this Google Doc-like interface where you can do anything you can normally do inside of a document, like format the text, add images, tables, as well as change the citations directly from here. But all the main features lies in this AI writer option in the top right. If we click it, we'll be brought to this screen with our notebook on the left and an array of features on the right hand side. I like to start with this chats option, as from here, as you can see, we have our literature reviews that we've made. We can also ask follow-up questions and find any other literature reviews or queries that we had made in the past. We can insert this entire answer by pressing add to document. Once we have a draft in here, we can then explore the other features such as library. And from here, you'll have all the papers that you've saved or uploaded to your library, and you can add them as a citation within just one click like that. And we can also click on the citation to open up its details. We can even view the publication from here as well. And similarly, if we go back to the right hand side, we can click on search papers, and just like we did before, we can insert a keyword, a prompt, filter just like we could, and find the papers that we need to either cite in this paper or to save to our library. Next, we have the AI detector, and here we can analyze our entire document for AI text. So let's see what we get. And as you can see, we got 49% detected for AI, so not the best, but certainly not the worst. And the good thing is that if we scroll down a little bit here, AnswerThis shows us the exact sentences that got detected for AI. And what I like to do is then change up the sentence, of course. And after you've adjusted this section, you can go ahead and press the selection option in the top here and only select this text in order to only detect AI within this text. So this is a great way to iterate on your work and make sure it's completely AI proof. And similarly, we have the plagiarism detection tool as well. And if we analyze this entire document for plagiarism, we can see that we got 0% detected, which is expected of AnswerThis as I rarely see it mess up. But of course, it's always better to be safe than sorry. So I do recommend that you run this tool anyways. And if we did have a sentence or a paragraph that was miscited, it will identify the exact sentence just like it did within the AI detector, and we can go in and change that. And finally, we have the new Agentic editor. And from here, it'll have the entire context of your notebook. And you can go ahead and ask it any questions which you maybe would have inside of the main AnswerThis tool, except it'll have the context of your notebook. So you can go ahead, ask it for things like make a research proposal, make a research outline, make a thesis statement, anything in between. And you can even tell it to add sources whilst it's writing this new information. So a great way to add additional sources to your text and to discover new ones, of course. We can filter it just like we could earlier. Additionally, we can select paragraphs or sentences, and it will have just the context of the text that we have selected on the left hand side. So this is a great way, maybe if you want to find research gaps in a particular section or add additional sections to what you already have with new sources, this is a great way to do so. And once you're happy with the draft that you've made on the left hand side, you can go ahead, share it with teams, peers, or mentors for them to review your work, add suggestions, add citations, etc. And once you're fully happy with what you have made here, you can go ahead and export this to PDF, docx, Markdown, and LaTeX formats. Now, if we go on to the left hand side, we've talked about this quite a bit up till this point, but here is the library section, and if you're new to AnswerThis, your library will unfortunately look like this with no sources. But do not worry, you can of course save sources at any point throughout AnswerThis. You can also upload files in the top right, anything from images to PDFs, CSVs, as well as BibTeX in case you're importing from something like EndNote. And you can connect your Mendeley and Zotero libraries to import or export papers to and from AnswerThis. And if we select import here, we can click on the papers we'd like to move, choose which project we would like to move these papers to. And I do recommend you keep download PDFs on, as this allows us to use features like chat with PDFs as well as extract more information from these papers. Once your library is fully populated, it will look something like this, which is a classic paper table, which you should now be familiar with, where you can, of course, add additional columns, export to different formats, and if you want to create a new library, you can press this little plus button on the left and give it a name, a description, as you could before to create your library. And once you have multiple projects, you can click on papers and say move paper in order to move them to and from different libraries that you have. You can also select multiple and do the same at the top. And you can also go ahead and edit the citations of any papers that you may have uploaded or saved in AnswerThis as well. And the cool thing about the library is that we can actually select multiple papers, and you'll notice in the add steps option, we'll be able to run bibliometric analysis or chat papers inside of the library directly using these sources, or we can go ahead and ask a question directly from here. Next, if we go back onto the left hand side and click on AI Writer, you will find all the notebooks that you have worked on, and you can create any new notebook by pressing New Document on the top right as well. And just like the papers inside of the library, each one of your notebooks is organized to an individual library, so we can click on any of these libraries to see the notebooks which are tied to them. And just like you could with the papers, you can also select a multiple and move them to and from different projects in order to organize your research. And finally, we've seen this briefly at the very start, but inside the recent section, each one of your queries are also tied to your project, just like the notebooks and just like the papers. And we can also click on any of these to move them to and from different libraries. And as you can see, inside of my atomic structures library, we can see the 2 atomic structures literature reviews that I've made as well. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you find this genuinely valuable for your research, and we also host a webinar every single day where we go through AnswerThis and also answer questions at the very end, and I'm always there, so feel free to join that in the description, and good luck with your research.